guys, welcome back to Question of the Week. So I'm going to try to answer a really common question that came up in sessions this week, which was, how do I know when to listen to my fears? Right? We have, in my mind, two kinds of fears. We have the fears that help keep us alive, and then the fears that keep us from living. So the fears that keep us alive are, for example, when you step out onto the street and you see a car coming and you know, hey, it's time to jump out of the road, right? Or sometimes it's more of a spider sense. It's this sense of, hey, I think I should take the long way home from work today. And you go that way and you hear that there was an accident report on your normal route home and you missed a tragic accident right around the place where you would have been at that time, right? And so there's these fears that we have, both intuition and rational, that keep us safe. And then there's these fears that actually keep us from living, right? And so those, for example, are the ones which are, hey, I've been burned like 3 times in the last relationships I've been in. They've all cheated on me. I'm probably just going to get cheated on again. I can't deal with the fear and the pain, so I'm just going to stop dating altogether, right? Or I have this awesome business idea, but chances are it's not going to go anywhere. So I think I'll just hold myself back and not do anything with it. So these are the fears that keep us from bringing our gifts to the world, and they're not really very helpful. So how are we supposed to know? There's some circumstances and situations that come up where we can't actually be sure. Is this a real fear? Is this a valid thing? Is this my conscience telling me what to do, or my intuition protecting me? Or is this a fear that's really, really just telling me that I'm in a comfort zone that I need to break through? So when I'm working with clients, I basically have them go through 4 different kinds of tests in order to help them feel this out and get the answer to their question. So the first test is kind of stolen from the world of technology, since I have a bit of a background in that, and it's called the beta test. So in technology, whenever they're developing an application, they're never going to spend 3 years developing an application and then put it out to the world. They'll develop a beta, basically a scaled down version of that application with the most basic and essential features. They'll put it out to the world and they'll say, is this working? Do people like it? They'll get that feedback, and then they'll work on building the bigger scale product that they really want to launch, right? And so the same can be said for the kind of experiences that you want to test. So, hey, should I switch my career over to law? I'm really interested in law, I'm really excited about it, but I'm fearful it's just not going to work out. Well, rather than going through months and months studying for an LSAT, and putting yourself through law school for 3 years only to decide when you finally become a lawyer that this wasn't for me after all, I should have listened to my doubts, what you can do instead is volunteer, get an internship, shadow a lawyer for a day, do a bunch of informational interviews. Seek out that answer in a smaller scale way. Try to get that experience in a smaller scale way. And you can do this with dating, and you can do this with careers, you can do this in any area of your life. If I wanted to move to Italy, I wouldn't just pick up and move to Italy. I would first say, hey, let me go over there for a month, see if I like it, see if the culture resonates with me, see if it brings out the best in me, and then I would decide if I really want to move to Italy and pick up my whole life to do that, right? So clarity comes from engagement, not from thought. So really just try to engage in that activity in one way. So that's the first way. The second test comes from another way, when we're actually saying, okay, I don't have the time to go spend a month living in Italy. How do I know if this is right for me? Or I can't find this major volunteer opportunity I'm looking for. How do I know right now? I don't have the time to assess this. I have to make a decision soon. Well, then there's 3 other tests that come in. So the second strategy that I was getting to is called the what's the worst that could happen strategy. So think about it. What's the worst thing that could happen if you pursued this thing that you're fearful of doing, right? So if you went on a date with someone, for example, what's the absolute worst thing that could happen? They could be terrible, they could treat you badly, they could lie to you all night. Whatever it is, whatever you think is the worst thing that could happen to you, I want you to think about that, write it down, and then write about what you would actually do to overcome that. I want you to get real clear in how, when hell comes or it's really a terrible scenario, how you would climb out of that scenario. And if you are able to climb out of that scenario, or if you are able to see actually that it's not that bad in the first place, then chances are you should do that activity and not listen to the fear that's holding you there, right? However, if the repercussions of this particular scenario are so bad and so drastic that they could have irreparable consequences on your life, maybe skip it. Maybe your fear is telling you to stop for a reason. Next strategy, our third strategy, is the opposite of the second one. So what is the best case scenario? What's the best thing that could happen from following this particular thing that you want to do? And the best case scenario, let's say for a app that you want to create, right? And so I want to create this app that's eventually going to lead to my own company. So what would be the best thing? Well, I get to bring my own idea to life. I get to prove to myself that my ideas have value in the world. I get to structure a company around my values. I get to have a schedule that's aligned to what I want to do, right? Those are all super, super, super big perks, and they matter so much to me, right? So that's the best case scenario. Now the question for you is there any way for you to get those same results that you're so attached to that maybe don't involve such a high risk? Well, if not, then probably don't listen to your fears and go ahead and chase this. If you really care about those results, you gotta go the way of getting it, right? But if there's other ways that you might be able to get those same end results that you're really going for, maybe try those out instead if they feel a little bit safer, and feel through them, right? And then the fourth situation is to actually put aside all of this thinking, and close your eyes, take a deep breath, and tune into your body. Your body has tremendous amounts of knowledge, and your subconscious is holding all of this wisdom that you don't always have access to through conscious thought. So when you're making a decision that you feel fearful about, I want you to think about the two options, option A and option B. So let's say option A is moving to Italy, like we used before, and option B is not. It's staying where you are in your hometown, right? And I want you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and visualize and think about option A. See yourself in Italy walking through the streets, see the challenges that you might go through, see the exciting opportunities you might face, and really check in to your body. Are you feeling expanded or are you feeling contracted? Expanded is that feeling that you have in your body like when you're playing with a baby or a puppy, when you feel lighter and calmer and wiser, and just like there's something moving through you that works with ease, right? Whereas contracted is this heaviness or this darkness, this pit in your stomach, in your chest, in your throat. If you're feeling contracted with this option, chances are it's not the right option. So you want to go through that and then do the same exercise for the other alternative. How does that option feel in your body? Does it make you feel contracted? Does it make you feel expanded? Think about that and listen to the wisdom of your body, and therefore choose the one where your body is guiding you. That's most likely, and for me has almost always been, the right answer. So I hope this has helped you. If you want to share with me a situation in which you're trying to work through whether or not to listen to a particular fear you have, I'd love for you to write in the question below, in the comments below. And of course, if you have anything else that comes up or any questions you want me to address in the future, I'd be happy to. So see you next week, and good luck.